Hi everyone, welcome to the Corporate Expat Mom channel, where today we will be talking about why is it so freaking hard to say no when you know you should, and how to get better at that. I'm your host, Elena Gomez Rodriguez. I'm a corporate expat coach, mental fitness coach, and I help corporate expats, women and moms especially, do it all without burning out and thrive abroad. So why don't we jump in? Because I know you're busy, right? So why is this so hard? If you're here, it's because you have problems saying no, even though you know you should. And that's most likely because you're the good girl or a good boy. No discrimination here. But how come that we are that if we are all born perfectly capable of saying no? Like, have you ever seen baby that struggled by saying no? Like, even before we are able to talk and say no, which is often one of the first words that gets out of a baby's mouth, we are very expressive about letting others know what we don't like, right? And it's biologically wired in us. We are able to say what we don't want, because otherwise all of the other yeses would have no meaning. So actually we learn how to say no before we learn how to say yes. So what happened between when you were a baby and now? And you could read about some of the explanations in my Monday post that I linked in the comments as well, or in the description. It's, again, my hero, Dr. Gabor Mate, a world-renowned and respected expert on stress, trauma, addictions, and all of these things we don't usually want to look at. And Dr. Gabor Mate explains why that is. And it comes down to our past and our two core needs that we have in order to survive as those innocent, helpless babies. And that is, the first need is the need for attachment. And logically, this is what you feel instinctively as a baby, the need to attach to the person who takes care of you, so that they would ensure your survival, because without anybody's help, you wouldn't survive for too long as a baby out there. So this is the first need, attachment. But then the second one that comes right after is the need for authenticity. Because for most of human history, we lived in nature. And if you were not in touch with your gut feeling and what you felt was right, you wouldn't survive for too long. You had to be connected with your body to notice, like, oh, this might be a life risk situation. Let's get out of here as soon as possible. So you were connected to your gut feeling. But the problem happens now that we are not living in the jungle anymore, and we live with parents who get triggered by our expressing all of the emotions that come up when you're a child. You want a cookie before dinner and your mom tells you no, and you throw a tantrum because you want it now. You have no sense of time, and like, it will be after or in half an hour. That doesn't work. You are wired to express all of your feelings. But if your parents get triggered by that and it's not acceptable, then you very soon learn how to be the good girl or the good boy, how to ensure that you suppress any unwanted feelings or behaviors that your parents do not approve of, in order for you to be lovable and appreciated and feel loved. So this is where the clash starts. You learn how to adapt and what feelings to suppress in order not to be rejected by the people who matter the most to you. Natural, brilliant survival strategy. Worked for you great when you were a child, because you got it, you made it here. So well done with that. Now, the problem is that these strategies don't have an expiration date. So most likely they've been still running your life until now, when you're an adult. So this is why we are here. And this is why this awareness, and apologies if you're bored by psychoeducation classes, but I think it's necessary for you to understand why. Because if you've tried to do any coaching and all the forward looking and let's just work around those obstacles and let's just give you more of the courage to say no, because you know why it's good for you to say no. So let's try work or walk around it. but it keeps coming back, right? Until you understand it and see within you like why it's happening and which forces, and that they're actually natural, like what's working within you. That's what takes out the spell of it once you understand. So I'm hoping you got some insights. I'll be looking forward to hearing the feedback from you in comments. Now, how to get better at saying no. So let's shift to the second part where you actually get some homework or things you can try. So the first one is a question, 4 cues, 4 questions you can ask yourself. Okay. Where in my life do I have difficulty saying no? And I was asking you a poll on Facebook and on LinkedIn so that you start reflecting on that. Where is it most difficult for you to say no when you know you should? And feel you would like to, but you feel you can't. Where? Is it at work? Is it your relationships at home? Is it your children? Is it your family? Or is it to yourself? Because often we also cannot say no to ourselves. We don't feel comfortable because we internalize a lot of these voices that push us in the head. So first find out, where is it? Because that's where most of the conflict usually comes then, between the attachment and your authenticity. Now you know about it. Now, second question you might want to ask yourself is, what story do I tell myself about why I don't say no? Is it because you're afraid that people will not like it? Somebody will get angry with you. They will not like you anymore. You will not get promoted at work. Your colleagues will hate you for being selfish. What is it? What is the story in your head that you keep telling yourself about that? Why you can't say no? And then the third question is, well, is that story true? Would you think this way about somebody else who told you no in the same situation? Or do you have a double standard for yourself? And why is that? Like so often, and this is where I struggled the most, because I was not able to say no to myself. Even though I cleared my schedule so that I'm not like super busy and super overworked, I cleared my schedule to have some time to relax. And then I still kept filling that schedule with other things to do because I couldn't say no to myself. I wanted to be better than all these other working business moms. I wanted to be doing those extra projects and DIYs and things for my daughter. It was me. It was me because I wanted to be on my high horse. I wanted to be the super mom who does it all so that she can judge all the other lazy moms who cannot. So watch out for these stories as well. And then finally, fourth question, what is the impact when you don't say no, when you know you should? And this goes to, you know it very well. It goes back to your stress, your burnout. But then also there's other issue, which is resentment. And that's what I'm working with the most. Because I felt it also like in myself when, especially when my daughter was smaller, I felt she could take all of my time and attention and love, like there was never enough. And I felt I had to, like I couldn't say no because that's what the good mom is supposed to do. Just give as much as you can. So no boundaries, actually. But that's when I started realizing that there's resentment creeping in. I resented my daughter for always wanting more. And the same with other relationships. Like, why are even people asking you for more if they know you're already stretched so thin? Like, it's their fault. I coach a lot of moms who have problems by doing it all, not even telling their husbands or colleagues at work that they would appreciate more help. They feel they can't. And because they haven't done that in the past, everybody else is used to it by then. So they don't even see it coming that suddenly you blow up and you say, no, I don't have any more energy to give. They're like, where's this coming from? You were saying yes all that time. And now you're saying no in such a strong way. Like, I didn't see that coming. What's happening to you? So watch out for this resentment. Because then the other side, if you say no, you might feel guilty about it. and you don't want to feel guilty. So there's actually no easy way out of this attachment versus authenticity, saying no thing. Like, there's no easy way out. You will either feel guilty at the beginning, or you will feel resentful if you keep going in that direction. But this is where Dr. Gabor Mate is saying it's better to choose the guilt over resentment every time, because at least you're saying yes to yourself. Makes sense? By saying no to somebody else, you're saying yes to yourself. You might feel guilty about it, but it's still better than feeling resentful for doing what you don't want to do. So which one are you going for from now on? Let me know. Start playing with it. At least don't run on autopilot. You have a choice. The intention of this little session is to let you know you have a choice. Now you know what forces are behind. It's completely natural. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just how you were wired when you were a child. Brilliant survival strategy, what you developed. Just now you know better. You're an adult. You have a choice. Each choice has its consequences. It will be either guilt or resentment. Which one do you prefer? In what situation? Just be aware and make that choice consciously. Okay. And you can let me know, because as always, I'm curious. So this is my email address. If you don't want to share your comments publicly, which I understand, that's okay. I have to give credit to Dr. Gabor Mate, because he was the entire inspiration and the science and research and all that wisdom behind this session. I learned it all from him. And then just before I let you go, a couple of announcements. I'm preparing that corporate expat summit that I mentioned also last time. I'm looking for speakers. So if you are listening to, or you are in the sphere of some powerful expert that you absolutely love and you think should be part of this summit, then let me know. I'm looking for coaches, therapists, or experts in any other field, people who are working with expatriate moms, especially working moms. And they're helping them basically not to burn out, do it all without burning out, thrive abroad, all the topics. So let me know also. You can send an email to my address and let me know if there's somebody in your space, or if it is you who's watching now because you're curious. Well, then I would like to invite you, if you're an expat woman supporter and helper and expert. So that's the summit invitation. And then an invitation for next week. Next week, Friday, will be an exception. I will share with you one of the interviews I did for my previous summits. And it's one of my favorites. It's with Tara Stiles, who's a super mom, yogini, businesswoman. And we will talk all about how not to go crazy with everything, all that load we are carrying. It's an excellent interview. And it's really one of my favorites. So I'm going to share that one with you, because I will walk my talk next week. It's school holidays here in France, so I'll be a full-time mom again. So there will be no live session next week, Friday. We will resume in 2 weeks. All right. Well, I hope if it was you who needed to hear this message today, that you got some help, at least a bit. And I would love to hear from you. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, please. I know there's a lot of drama going on right now in the world, so I hope that you're all safe, including your families. I'm sending some peace energy, even though it might not help fully, but it's, at least one drop in the sea. I hope you're safe. Take care. Have a good weekend, and see you later. Bye.